Howdy, I'm the Grey Bokoblin, and welcome to a very simple tier list based on how much I want every Trapper add-on to be base kit. And when I say base kit, I mean completely base kit, so any downsides are taken into effect. And given that Trapper is one of, if not the weakest killers in the game, he does not want any more downsides. So the very bottom tier is the Hell Nah tier, which consists of padded jaws, a meme add-on that makes where they don't do to where your traps won't do damage, and the tar bottle, which makes your traps darker in color. This is absolutely terrible. Like, tar bottle you'd think would be good, but on a lot of maps it would be an active downgrade, like Eyrie of Crows, and on other maps it really won't change a lot of things because they'll still be fairly visible. Like, sure, they might be harder to spot, but that is a might. Then the next tier we have is No, where I do not want them to be base kit. They work perfectly fine as add-ons. Like, they're not like Hell Nah. Like, I do use these No add-ons. It's just, I don't want them base kit because they wouldn't make sense to be base kit. At least not in the same way as anything above them. So, let's start with the two bear traps. The two bear traps in No tier, those are the Hemorrhage and Mangled ones, which work fine as add-ons. They're a pretty traditional thing, but should not be made base kit, in my opinion. Then there's the Tension Spring. It makes to where any survivors that get when a survivor gets out of a bear trap, the bear trap reopens after 2 seconds. Fine enough, just not great to be made base kit compared to other things, like all the stuff in top tier. Iridescent Stone, I'm going to skip over Trapper Sack. Iridescent Stone is the most blatantly not a bear trap thing of this entire thing, so it makes sense. Then we have Trapper Sack. I'm sure a lot of you were questioning why Trapper Sack was in No tier. And, well, it's fairly simple. Do I want Trapper to start with all of his traps? Yes. But if we're making the add-ons base kit, Trapper Sack fundamentally does not work because you can't pick up your traps again. And given that we're making every single add-on on base kit, given that every add-on would be base kit, if this happens, like actively base kit, nothing, no nerfs, no nothing, no buffs, no nothing, like to the he would not be able to re-pick up his traps, which would be terrible. Then there's the Why Not tier. I'm sorry if there's a random mouse just there. I was getting the footage from the tier list and just had my mouse over it sporadically. Like I was doing other things as well. Well, not really doing other things, but existing and moving my mouse to make sure it didn't turn off. So, sorry. But the add-ons in Why Not are like, why not? They're buffs without any clear downside. Like, so little of a downside, I honestly don't remember what any of them do. Like, well, that's a lie. I know what they do, except for the spring. I, for the love of God, cannot remember the name of the spring. But I know that it's in Why Not tier for a reason. Basic buff, silent traps, the 33% harder time getting out, and I think this is 33% harder time to disarm, or maybe it's this one that... No, I think it's that one. Either way, they're okay. And the add-ons in Yes tier are the ones that I want, but not nearly as much in Should Be base kit, which I think should be given priority. The pliers give a very good effect. 50% faster trap speed, and 25, like trap set speed, and 25% pickup speed, I think is what it is. I don't remember what the second effect is. Either way, good add-on. I like it. I've used it on a lot of Trapper builds because I don't have a lot of Trapper add-ons, so I don't always have access to all the best stuff. And then the stone makes it to where if you if a survivor gets out of a trap by themselves, like without the help of a survivor, into the downing state, right then and there. Very good add-on. If Trapper was stronger, I wouldn't say we need it, but for what it is, it works. And, just generally a good add-on. And then those springs, I think they're both ones that make it take longer to disarm traps. I honestly don't remember what the coil and why not does. But I do remember what the coil and should be Basekit does. It makes to where if you disarm a trap, you become injured. This should just be Basekit because Trapper is a very weak killer. He needs all the help he can get. Then there's the Trapper Bag, I believe is what it's called, which just allows him to carry an extra bear trap, and he starts with one extra bear trap. It's better than the Trapper Sack in this scenario because Trap or Sack doesn't have any downsides. Or Trapper Bag, the one in the top tier, doesn't have any downsides, whereas the one in No just does. Then there's the bear trap in top tier. Causes deep wound. That's an effect you can easily give to the traps, and there'd be little downside. Then there's the coffee filter, which just makes his haste boost after placing a trap stronger. Pretty good. And the makeshift wrap makes to where he doesn't get stunned in his own traps, and he just closes them. This should have been made Basekit about 40 years ago, but better late than never, assuming a Dead by Daylight dev actually sees this video and decides to make some of these changes. That'd be cool. But, thank you for watching. I know that I'm not the best speaker. I don't have a script, and this just felt more authentic, so I figured I'd do it. But, have a good one. This is the Gray Bokoblin, out.